This is Wreck of Cucked. Don't read it backwards. Kicked out of home for the harmless crime of pleasuring himself at the local duck pond, Wreck of Cucked is hated by almost every other race, which makes sense because after years of snorting shrooms in a Brazilian forest, he has transformed into a mindless, murderous mushroom man, aka a pretty fun guy. This might seem terrifying, but just like every other private school dropout with rich parents who goes soul searching in South America, his body is incredibly weak, starting with -2 strength, -2 dexterity, and weighed down by his giant mushroom head. If an enemy so much as looks in his direction, his heart will give out. No, stop, I'm a virgin! Damn it. Thankfully, just like real life, doing copious amounts of shrooms has given him mystical powers. As he levels up or eats rotten food, his mushroom head will grow in size, slowing him down but boosting his armor and giving him the ability to spawn giant hallucinogenic shrooms that murder everyone around him. What, you guys never heard of hotboxing before? Armed with nothing but a pair of sandals, magical bong, and his immortal duck friend named Iffywim, Wreck of Cuck's goal today is to somehow traverse 35 floors of monster-infested mines, swamps, and ruins to eventually overthrow the government and legalize having sex with ducks. But to do that, first, we have to cover ourselves in shit and eat rotten meat. No, seriously. You see, with my low strength, dexterity, and the fact my cock is out, I won't be able to survive a fair fight against the other local town perverts. However, if I can grow my mushroom cap, find some clothes, and smear shit all over myself, not only will enemies barely scratch me, but I'll begin to poison anyone who even tries. Overconfident, we step into the mines, drink from a local religious fountain, and immediately our insides begin to melt as the poison enters our system. A local sword-wielding pervert sees this and charges us. My duck friend, dives in front trying to distract him with her feminine charm. But the worst happens. The skeleton doesn't have a penis, meaning he ignores her, instead choosing to slit my throat. To be fair, we're weak to swords, axes, and we were poisoned. Next run, we're making it to floor 2. Delusional, we enter the mines again. This time, we begin by throwing our duck, directly into a local pervert. Her aggressive quacking distracts the pervert, allowing us to sneak up behind him, charge a heavy blow, and crush his skull with our magical bong. Holy shit, I love you, ducky. You see, our magical bong is technically a mace. The problem is, our negative starting strength means we do very little damage, unless we've applied a negative debuff such as poison, slow, confusion, or in this case, an immortal duck thrown at Mach 10 directly into your skull. And with each debuff we apply, we boost the damage our bong does per hit. Using this, we easily crush anything that stands in the way of our love, even slimes who are incredibly resistant to all maces. It's broken. Genuinely, this is the most broken class, and we leveled up, there you go, which means we've maxed our mushroom cap and we get more armor. Oh, I am very slow now though. With that, it's time to activate stage 2 of our plan. Just like every other Thursday morning, we throw our wife into a dark room with 2 perverts, smear shit all over ourselves before following her inside. Immediately, one of the perverts hits me with his rod. It barely tickles. Instead, he is immediately poisoned, slowed, and distracted by my duck. His friend steps forward, but it's too late. This is gonna be such a boring video if it's this easy, seriously. High on our own supply, we enter the next floor. As if the game was listening, we're immediately punished. You see, floor 2 is a Minotaur floor. This 9-foot tall bovine furry will easily crush us if he catches us. And while I respect his right to live as a furry, he, on the other hand, is prejudiced against featheries. So I begin to rush for the exit before time runs out. However, we make a mistake, foolhardily wasting time crushing spiders, perverts, and sorting through their belongings, all while the wet slapping of a horrifying cow jerking his gherkin looms ever closer. Clearly, having learned nothing in the hundreds of hours of gameplay I have, I stop to shit in a local religious fountain, and as usual, a nun appears to stop me. Undeterred, I charge up my wife, ready to throw her at the nun, but she charms me. Pacified, unable to move, I can do nothing except stand there as she beats me off. No, stop, I'm a virgin! Damn it. Frustrated, we enter the mines again and begin crushing everything in our path until we stumble across a heavily armed pervert with a sword. Already weakened, I cover myself in shit and decide to finally use one of our most powerful spells, Magician's Bubble. This overpowered starting spell will block 1 instance of damage, which we need because we completely fail to kite him, taking several back shots and almost dying. But thankfully, this poisons and slows him, allowing us to watch as he dies a painful, agonizing death he almost certainly didn't deserve. We steal his powerful shield, which if combined with the smeared shit will make us unstoppable. Stumbling across a treasure chest, however, suddenly we're stopped. Normally there'd be no way for me to cross this chasm. However, thanks to my love of ducks and years of recreational drug abuse, I have learned the ability to leave my body behind, instead inhabiting a ghost duck form, which we use to easily cross the ledge, before realizing ducks don't have thumbs, and this is the most useless ability in the game. Entering the next floor, once again greeted by the Minotaur, and having learned nothing, we waste time attacking this harmless bald adventurer in order to steal his shirt. While we have managed to increase our strength death to a mighty -1, shockingly, this isn't enough to offset the weight of our near full plate armor. Oh god, I'm so slow. I'm so slow, I hate it. Realizing I won't be able to make it to the normal exit in time, I'm forced to sluggishly unlock and make my way towards the secret exit that leads to the gnomish mines. As always, this dark labyrinthian hellhole is where new players come to die. Filled with fat little incels, these gnomes love nothing more than beating you to death with their pickaxe, tasing you until your brain explodes, or forcing you to watch Asmongold until you beg for death. Truly, this is hell. However, not for Wreck of Cucked. You see, we star resistant to magic and have already built over 16 AC passively. Storming in, we throw our wife at the foul-smelling short kings before beating them to death with our bong. But it quickly goes wrong. While distracted, we're caught off guard. Not waiting to take damage, I throw my shield up and realize, holy crap, they can't even damage us. Our AC is too high with the shield. This overconfidence is short-lived, however, as we stumble across a troll. Because these overweight hairy stepfather wannabes are built like a brick shithouse, even with my wife distracting him, we are barely doing any damage. Until he makes the mistake of punching me in the head. Smearing shit all over himself, he's now triple debuffed and he goes down quickly. But we've taken a lot of damage. With nowhere to heal, we trudge forward, directly into a lightning gnome and his pet troll. We try to run, but we're too slow. A blast of lightning hits us directly. Panicking, for the first time, we use our Germinate spell. Removing a stack of our mushroom cap, we will lose our armor buff, but gain a small amount of movement speed back and summon a giant mushroom to block this little demon's path. Wait, it killed him? The mushroom just killed him. That's so overpowered. And it drops food after? We steal the gnome staff and charge forward to kill his friend, but surprisingly to no one, we make another mistake. After a single shot, the staff disintegrates in our hands. We try to run and summon another mushroom, but the gnome doesn't give chase, wasting the shroom. Continuing to panic, I cast my bubble and smear shit on myself. Sneaking back up, we throw our wife at the creepy little man, but he ignores her, blasting us with lightning. I try to run again and recast bubble, but I'm out of mana. We continue to flee, but we fall directly into a troll, barely managing to take him down before another gnome appears. Our health is steadily dropping. The enemies continue to surround us. I try to escape back to the exit, but once again, a troll blocks our path. We take him down, turn a corner, and there, standing in the middle of the hallway, is the same gnome we failed to kill earlier. Doing his best impression of Angelina Jolie from Wanted, he blasts us, curving the lightning around multiple corners. We're dead before we even realize what has happened. If we did a tier list of every class and race, this one would be an S tier combo. The fact that I am losing is really embarrassing. Over the next several hours, we attempt run after run, but at no fault of my own, every attempt fails before we make it past floor 2. Are you kidding? A rare elite troll and 2 gnomes on floor... Oh, never mind. They actually went down pretty quick. Holy shit, a rare elite spider on floor 2? Oh my god, we did it. Look at the experience. This is gonna be our run right here. Wait, you're still alive? No, go away! That is until run 12. Okay, run 12 is looking promising. I'm already level 4. We can take a ghoul. Oh shit, that's Carol Grimes. Before we can react, this powerful rare elite ghoul and his 3 leather-clad gimps attack. A third of my health is gone in seconds, but they knock me down a hallway. I summon a shroom in their path and easily take 2 down. We summon another and another, almost using up all of our shrooms. Soon, all that's left is Carl. My wife distracts him as we summon our final shroom, beat him off, and he collapses in a puddle of blood, guts, and duck cum. Okay, we're level 6. And that ghoul dropped a spellbook of Summon Fire Sprite. This is it. This is the run. Rushing through floor 2, we avoid the Minotaur, crush a few spiders, ignore the gnomish mines, and head straight to floor 3, which... Another Minotaur. Great. Entering floor 4, we immediately encounter a troll. Summoning our Fire Sprite, we throw our wife at him, thinking he'll die quickly. But we couldn't be more wrong. You don't want these hands. Oh shit, he's got hands too! And here's a meaty! Oh, fuck. Okay, 5 HP. Not great. And before we know it, it's time to enter the swamps. For any other race, this wet, crusty, foul-smelling biome is hell on earth, filled with poisonous slimes, powerful goblins, and of course, easily avoidable boulder traps. It's like finding a teenage boy's sock stuffed down the side of the bed. Perfect for a fungus like Wreck of Cucked. Immediately upon entering, we're surrounded and attacked, but with our wife's aggressive quacking and our new Fire Sprite burning anything that moves, we easily beat everything and everyone to death with our magical bong. Thank God we finally got over that starting curve. We have actual health now, we do damage. Look, there's a useless boulder. Only thing that could do enough damage to kill us now is a boulder. But I don't know how anyone dies to those anymore. They're pretty easy to avoid. Quickly, this run becomes unstoppable, even managing to befriend this nun by giving her a rose. Oh, look out, useless boulder. Yep, she dodged it. See what I mean? No one dies to these anymore. Yeah, there's another one. Just step back. Easy. All right, we've cleared the entire floor. We have loads of experience, amazing spells, gear. Finally, we have a run that won't... Fellas, this is the moment that truly broke Wreck of Cuck's spirit. You see, on paper, he has one of the strongest starting kits in the entire game, with very little downsides, yet it was beginning to feel utterly hopeless. On the verge of giving up, we're forced to ask, do these foul government fascists truly not believe my love is real? Am I just a quack for believing we can change the world? Can a mushroom man not want to simply fuck a duck? Unsure, unsteady, and exhausted after 7 hours straight of attempting to leave the mines, Wreck of Cuck decides to attempt just one more run. Entering the mines like an American enters a third world orphanage, we're throwing flashbangs at anything that moves. And by flashbangs, I mean an immortal duck with chlamydia. Against our better judgment, we decide to fight a troll at level 1. And somehow, against all odds, we manage to beat him to death with our bong. Recklessly, we open a cage filled with several spiders, luring them directly into a mushroom, and that's when we see it. A dozen rats, led by a powerful rare elite called Algernon. A real man would open the door and engage in honorable mortal combat. But Wreck of Cuck is not honorable or a man. He's a cunt. Sticking our cock through the cage bars, the rats swarm to bite it off. As they rush over, we place a mushroom down and almost one hit every single one through the wall, including the elite. Immediately, we gain 2 levels. I'm going on the record, if I lose this run, it might be the first video I make that ends with us giving up. This is weirdly harder than everything else. As soon as we say this, a nun appears. She turns to attack me, but our wife quacks, distracting her. I fade into the darkness, duck around the pillars of stone before jumping out to cave her brains in with our bong. Entering the next floor, already level 7, and for the first time in 13 runs, it's not a Minotaur floor. Wait, why can I hear someone blasting magic? We're on floor 2. Cautiously, like an elderly man who shit his pants, we waddle deeper into the floor, moving aggressively slowly. I can't even catch spiders when they choose to flee. But after what feels like hours of waddling around, we finally find the source of the magic we heard earlier. A shirtless, ripped old man, otherwise known as Merlin. He could easily kill us, but his arrogance gets the better of him. We summon a mushroom, rub our chlamydia-riddled wife in his face, and watch as he dies before he even realizes what is happening. However, it gets even better. We steal his cape and realize it's heavily blessed, giving +6 AC with no weight. This might seem amazing, but we have a difficult choice to make. Do we enter the gnomish mines? Well, thanks to this lovely commenter, I learned that a real man would. Thankfully, we already established Wreck of Cuck is not a real man. In fact, more evidence of this is immediate as we enter floor 3 and throw our wife at a boulder. Don't worry, she's immortal. She still feels pain, but she can't die. She just suffers. That's when it happens. We manage to identify a spellbook of confusion, one of the most powerful spells in the game, as it causes enemies to hallucinate horrible visions, leading to them either tearing each other apart or standing perfectly still, stupefied, waiting to be murdered. But for us, it's also another debuff, making our magical bong even stronger. Despite our awful movement speed, we easily crush this entire floor, killing even the neutral humans and stealing their blessed equipment, this time gaining boots of speed with +3 dexterity, and proving once again that crime does in fact pay. Immediately, the dexterity increases our movement speed, and while that's exciting, it's nothing compared to what happens next. You see, one of the reasons our movement speed was extra terrible was the sheer number of gems I was hoarding. However, the rare secret exit to Minetown has appeared, a peaceful but racist village filled with shops that are, thankfully, willing to trade with us. Shuffling forward slowly but eagerly like a fat kid in a candy store, we survey the shops. Not only is there a store that will buy every gem and piece of jewelry we've stolen so far, but there are 2 scroll shops filled with enchant weapon, enchant armor, and blank scrolls. But more importantly right now, there are several scrolls of identify. Purchasing 3 of these, we use them to identify several gems. Sadly, 2 are glass, but 1 is a diamond worth 1,500 gold. Fellas, it's all coming up Wreck of Cucked. After a long series of overly complicated and boring trades, we leave with several powerful scrolls ready to enchant our gear, a +3 ring of warning that allows us to view enemies on our map, and having buffed our magical bong by +3. The only thing we're missing now is a scroll of repair to keep our powerful boots from breaking. But as if the very game was against our love, we enter the next floor to receive a warning of unnatural darkness. However, this is nothing. Using our ring of warning, we systematically hunt down every enemy we can before confusing, poisoning, and smashing their skull in with our bong. Having cleared the mines, it's finally time to re-enter the swamp, but it goes wrong immediately. Holy fuck, I think my duck just drowned. What is it doing? Is it drowning? My duck is fucking drowning! Oh. Wait, you good, bro? What the fuck? What was that? With our duck back, we continue our warpath. Clearing this floor with such ease, we decide to risk the jungle temple. But first, we have to survive a Minotaur, and having learned nothing, we take our time killing everything we can. We stumble across a shop on this floor, and I hesitate, knowing I need to leave near immediately. We'll just go in quickly. We're just gonna go inside quickly. Oh my god, scrolls repair. This is huge, but so is the Minotaur, who will be here any second, and I still need to open the jungle temple. We rush to the trapped exit, swing open the door, throw our wife down the dark corridor before sprinting away. Confused, she follows me out, triggering the pressure plate. Several boulders fly out, but it's too late. The Minotaur has spawned. Thankfully, we dive through just in time. The jungle temple, much like an American police station, is filled with hairy, overweight men and sticky perverts who stare at you from a distance, watching your every move. If you're foolish enough to enter too deep, suddenly they stampede, draw their badges, and murder you just to meet their KPI. But not today. Using our magical shrooms, powerful spells, and immortal duck wife, we easily destroy the entire temple, including the rare elite spawn, Potato King, who drops his enchanted artifact mace. This mace will buff our mana regen, but more importantly, he also drops powerful gloves of speed, which, after I enchant twice, are giving us another +3 dexterity. With our movement speed debuff practically countered, we break into the goblins' vault, steal their gold, murder the guards, and continue on to the next floor, which just so happens to be another Minotaur floor, but this time with pitch black darkness. Thankfully, I'm incapable of learning my lesson, continuing to waste time fighting and looting before eventually wandering over to the secret exit. But the boulders block our way. With only 20 seconds until the Minotaur spawns, we take out the pickaxe we stole from the temple and attempt to mine our way in. Oh, it broke. That's another secret floor locked to us, and another piece of artifact gear we can't get. Okay, let's go find the other. Go, go, go. But it goes wrong again. Several goblins, bats, and slimes attack us. Stuck fighting, unable to reach the exit, he appears. We take down the last goblin, prepare to leave, but there, swinging in the wind, is the giant beast's meaty udder. Terrified, panicked, we trip over, fall through the exit, entering the sand labyrinth. One of my personal favorite biomes, thanks to its similarities to growing up in Australia. Here, you get to experience nearly dying to poisonous spiders, nearly dying to heat stroke, and nearly dying having sand shoved inside your sphincter by a particularly strong wave at the beach. Thankfully, we get to experience that last one near immediately, as a boulder lands directly on top of me, taking 80% of my health. Whoa. What the fuck just happened? We march on, eager to experience the other two traditions, but sadly we're too strong. A dozen spiders charge us from their nest, but are melted by our poisonous shrooms. Wanting to experience severe sunburn and heat stroke like I did as a wee boy, I rush towards a lava slime, but even he goes down in a single hit. Aw man. Defeated by my own strength, we quickly make our way through the next two floors, rather than risk being caught out by the Minotaur. The loss of experience and loot will set us back quite a bit truthfully, but the real pain is missing not one, but two secret floors, and the rare artifact equipment we could find inside. However, as we prepare to leave the sand labyrinth feeling unfulfilled and somehow phasing through this boulder, we find a spellbook of poison. This will allow us to apply another debuff from a distance without smearing shit on ourselves or using a tier of our mushroom cap. With that, it's time to enter the next biome. If you've ever wanted to experience the feeling of having hundreds of short, sweaty, overweight men grinding on you while large, hairy bears throw beads at you, then you'd love the ruins. Because before we can even get our bearings, dozens of gnomish thieves charge us. We fire back poison and confusion before beating them off with our bong, taking time mid-fight to disarm the powerful explosive traps they drop. But there's no time. The bugbears come next, ready for their turn. However, just as it seems like we have the fight under control, two powerful slimes appear, spraying us with a thick viscous liquid. I toss my wife to them, cast confusion, causing them to turn on each other. Eventually, we look around, now shirtless, covered in sweat, blood, and a strange white liquid. Everything is dead, and resting there on the ground is a feather. Fellas, this is huge. With this, we can finally use the blank scrolls we've been hoarding to enchant our equipment even further, starting with our magical bong, which is now +6, just in time to face one of the strongest enemies in the game, a demon. All right, duck, confused, poison, charge, it's dead. Holy fuck! Fighting our way through the rest of the floor, we desperately look for any way to levitate, but sadly, with no luck, we're unable to enter yet another secret floor. Things go from bad to worse as we're met again with two Minotaur floors back to back. We might have seemed overpowered this run, but missing so many secret floors while having to avoid 7 Minotaurs out of a potential 8, and more importantly, the fact I forgot to get a new chest piece means suddenly everything starts to go wrong. Jesus, I'm taking so much damage now. Why am I taking so much damage? Even the bats are messing me up. What is happening? Oh shit, a demon. That's fine. The other died. Whoa, holy crap. No, I'm gonna die. Oh, it's stepped on a trap. Thank God. And as if the very devs themselves were taunting Wreck of Cuck's love, right before we leave the ruins, we find a potion of levitation. Thanks, Barony. With that, it's time to enter the throne room and prove that love is love. However, there is a problem. While we are a high enough level for this fight, I still haven't realized I never equipped a new chest piece. To make things worse, with no way to heal, we're stuck at half health before it even begins. If the Baron can land even a single volley of lightning, it would easily kill me. With no other option but to press forward, we grip our chlamydia-riddled wife tightly and throw her directly into a brick wall as the old freak appears. We try to cast Confuse, but he's simply immune. Stunned by this, we barely dodge his first volley of lightning, cast poison, sidestep another and another before before forcing him in close to a pillar. We throw down a shroom which does okay damage as we begin to beat the old man to death with our magical bong. But he summons a demon. Thankfully, it's inside our mushroom's range, allowing us to quickly deal with it. Rushing away, for some reason we cast Confuse several more times despite it not doing anything except wasting our mana. We throw our wife at him one more time before charging in. Our attacks land, but so does his. Our magic reflection amulet is gone, meaning we will die instantly to a single hit. Suddenly, he summons 3 imps, who instantly begin lobbing fireballs in my direction. We dodge, cast Confusion, hoping to get a few seconds to breathe, but the imp instead turns, attacking the Baron. I do nothing but watch as he's killed by his own son. That's an achievement! Awesome! With the Prime Minister dead, we stumble back to town, ready to celebrate our finally legal marriage to Ifiwim, only to find out that a pair of incestuous brother-sister magicians have taken over as co-prime ministers. They've decided that it's no longer morally grey to fuck ducks, instead making it outright illegal. Fellas, I'm pissed. Full of spunk and vinegar, we rush out of the inn, but immediately we're attacked by a leather-bound man who riddles us with arrows, almost dying. Okay, I'm clearly not as strong as I thought. Why am I taking so much damage? With that, we make our way to the local jewelry store, selling all our stolen goods. Money in hand, we drop by the armory where we still don't realize we're fucking shirtless, ignoring a very powerful chess piece. That's all useless. While stocking up on health potions and blank scrolls, I stumble across a polymorph potion. If we use this, we'll be able to recruit incredibly powerful, but also racist adventurers, which is perfect. Hold on, not like that, because I don't want to be their friend. In fact, I plan for them to die so I can take their equipment. However, while blessing our magical bong all the way to +9, our polymorph breaks and we realize this was a mistake. I'm bald! No, I play games to escape reality. No mushroom cap means no bonus armor, which means no bonus damage. And of course, we are still shirtless. Despite all of this, we make our way towards the next biome, but suddenly stop. Wait, when did my armor break? What the hell? Rushing back to the armorer, we purchase a blessed steel breast piece and a crystal visor, giving us a full 8 AC. With that, we gather our racist meat shields and prepare to enter the caves. Truly, this is our worst nightmare. Not because we missed every overpowered, unbreakable piece of artifact armor, not because the caves are home to golems which do 150 damage in one AoE strike, but simply because we are about to encounter the beautiful, majestic, feathered cockatrice. This terrifying fowl does absolutely absurd damage, can mass paralyze entire parties, while also being resistant to magic, maces, and most importantly, she hates bald people. Distracted by this, we break our way out of the spawn, blast a nearby kobold with confusion before walking over a spike trap and losing a third of our health. We can dish out damage, but man, anytime magic or penetration is involved, it really hurts. Using our Ring of Warning and utterly broken movement speed, we systematically rip every living thing to pieces until we see her. Oh shit, she didn't see us. We can just run. We don't have to guys, no. Fuck. Forced to fight the equivalent of a supermodel with machine gun jubblies, we throw our wife down and watch as our entire party charges headfirst to their doom. We cast Confusion followed by Poison, but it doesn't matter. Even with 4 debuffs and 4 powerful allies, she's simply too strong, ripping the head clear off the cleric's body. Thankfully, this gives us enough time to slowly beat her to death with our magical bong. Okay, time to loot the racist holy man. 30% magic resistant ring, huge for the final fight. Magic reflection amulet, perfect again. +2 strength plate armor gauntlets. Fellas, it's all coming up wreck of cooked. Wasting no time, we use several of our blank scrolls to craft, repair, and bless, using these to boost the gloves to +6, giving us 8 armor and 6 strength. But there's a problem. Yes, our damage will increase, but losing the dexterity will impact our movement speed, especially after we clear the entire floor and use the blood of our enemies to regrow our mushroom cap. We're moving very slowly again. The real fear is the next floor is going to be a minute. Ah, fuck. Okay, we just need to hurry and hope we don't see a cop. Ah, fuck. Without thinking, we cast Confusion, hoping to catch the beast off guard, but as we do, I realize there is a golem behind it. The pair charge us. Panicked, we bash away at the feathered fuck, but my health is dropping fast. Oh shit, I have no potions. In just 5 hits, the cockatrice cuts through our 45 AC, taking us down to just 30 health. 1 hit from death, she finally dies. For some reason, the golem chooses to ignore us, rushing after our magician. How the fuck are we alive? How are we taking so much damage? Oh shit, I do have health potions. Cut that. With no time left before the Minotaur spawns, I rush to the Daedalus Shrine. This appears on every Minotaur floor and reveals the exit. But just as I approach it, so does another cockatrice. Oh crap! Backing away, we begin casting our spells. Things go from bad to worse as our magician steps into a spike trap, dying immediately. Diving behind the barbarian gives us time to safely bash away, but he goes down as well. Thankfully, the cockatrice follows shortly after, but now we have no meat shields left. However, we do steal the barbarian's powerful magic resistance shield, an incredibly overpowered piece of equipment equipment. Nice, there's the exit. Oh shit, another one! We rush to leave the floor rather than fight, but a small bug charges forward, casting weakness on the beast. Seizing the moment, we remember our wife exists and take the bastard down. Okay, I should leave. I'm just gonna grab some loot over here. Cock! That's right, a fourth cockatrice appears. Foolishly, we begin attacking, and just as we do, the Minotaur arrives. Finishing off the bird, we rush to leave, but can feel the cow's breath on our neck, somehow barely making it out of the exit. Things go smoothly over the next floor, repairing our equipment, blessing our new shield, and crushing anything that dares even hint that a mushroom can't love a duck, even managing to 3-hit a crystal golem. Feeling truly overpowered by the fact our equipment is now requiring tens of thousands of gold per enchantment, this overconfidence leads us to make a terrible mistake. We take a small shit in a local religious fountain, but it appears nothing happens. Distracted, we forget to pause the game, allowing the incubus who secretly spawned on the other side of the wall to simply walk up behind us and steal our +9 magical bong right from our hands. No, you. What? Panicked, we cast poison, confuse, and attempt to beat the leather-clad freak off with our bare hands. This only makes him laugh as he teleports away holding the very thing we need to make this run possible. Luckily, he rushes back in, blasting me with powerful cold spells before teleporting away again and again. I attempt to use Shurua, which up until now had just been a passive mana regen mace, but he teleports away while throwing bottles of beer at my head. Somehow, despite all of this, we land a single strike. Terrified, we watch anxiously as he explodes into a pile of blood, guts, and stolen goods. And there, on the floor is our magical bong. This is why I love Barony. You can play one of the most overpowered classes in the game, but you'll still have shit happen that makes your sphincter tighten up like a steel vice. Following tradition, we refuse to learn our lesson, approach another religious fountain, and begin to unzip our pants. He appears immediately, but thankfully so does our chlamydia-riddled wife, allowing us to beat the man to death. However, this gives us a bright idea. You see, these fountains, while most of the time will spawn the leather-bound perverts, there is a small chance they'll bless a piece of equipped armor, and an even smaller chance they'll bless every piece of equipped armor. With our bong now requiring 10,000 gold to enchant it, there is almost no way for us to bless it further, unless we get insanely lucky. Stripping nude, we throw everything except our +9 magical bong on the floor, and okay, if this spawns an incubus, we're fucked, but it might... Oh! Yes! Quickly getting dressed, we inspect our beautiful and terrifying bong that now does +16 damage as well as bonus magic damage per debuff. I love this game. More powerful than ever before, we rip, tear, and decimate the remaining enemies in the caves with ease before entering the final biome, the Clockwork Citadel. Normally, I'd be terrified of this overstimulating fortress, but armed with our powerful enchanted equipment, we march into the mess of drunken goatmen, blood-sucking nobles, and of course, more cockatrices, expecting very little challenge. But we are wrong. A cockatrice appears behind us, removing half our health in seconds. Somehow, we survive, but it's a grim reminder that despite everything, we're not as powerful as we feel. A statement that echoes once again as we turn a corner only to be attacked by yet another flying feathery foul fucker who rips us apart. Thankfully, the never-ending barrage of goatmen who drunkenly stumble into our meat grinder does allow us to refill our health potions, which appears to be crucial because more cockatrices than I've ever seen before continue to charge us. However, thanks to our wife and our debuffs, we are steadily figuring out how to kill them from a distance, until it once again goes wrong. Attempting to turn the lights on, we pull a lever. Immediately, the doors slam shut around us and a cockatrice appears. Taking several back shots, we're thrown across the room. Spinning around, we cast confusion followed by poison before throwing our wife to the beast. Low on mana and half health, we somehow scrape by once again, marching on to the next floor. Fighting our way through the citadel, taking utterly absurd amounts of damage, you, my lovely viewer, might begin to feel the urge to question why I'm not using my overpowered magic resistance shield. The truth is simple. I forgot I had it. Oh shit, my shield. That would probably help a lot. On the bright side, if I continue to not use it, then the video might get a lot of comments. Nevertheless, we continue our warpath through the next several floors, continue to upgrade our equipment where we can, and even find the overpowered spell, Blood Wave. This single spell would 2-hit pretty much every boss in the game. But I'm not a pussy. Rekov Kukt wants to beat the incest twins off with his own 2 hands. With only a few floors left before our final fight, we stumble into a room filled with incubus, golems, and cockatrices. For the first time in hours, we summon a shroom, allowing us to easily tear them apart. Who would have thought the class mechanics were powerful? I'll admit, I forgot I had that spell. Unable to find the exit, however, we stumble directly into Bram's castle. Sadly, this old man is about to have a terrible day. We easily march through several floors, crushing his undead army, harem of succubus wives, and even killing ourselves. Calm down, YouTube. That's not what I mean. Arriving at the top floor, we cast Magician's Bubble on ourselves for the first time since the mines, which can now stack 3 times. With that, it's time to teach this old man a lesson. Duck, confuse, poison, and dead. Wow. This death, however, is not meaningless. Stealing his cloak of levitation, we will now have endless flight and mana regeneration. Slipping through the final Minotaur floor, we enter the twins' throne room. After over 10 hours of attempts, it's finally time. We equip our magic resistance ring, and just to vindicate your comments, our overpowered shield, bringing us to a passive 60 AC and 81% magic resistance. If these disgusting incestuous freaks think they're going to tell us who to love, they have another thing coming. We stack our bubble 3 times, smear shit all over ourselves just for old time's sake, and enter the throne room. Immediately, they're on us like flies. Orpheus charges first, instantly taking all of our bubble off, but his eagerness betrays him as he covers himself in shit. We throw up our shield and look down at our health just as Eurydice blasts us. Realizing, holy crap, they can barely damage me. Empowered, we begin beating Orpheus to death, but he runs like a coward. Chasing him down, we throw our wife at him, duck, weave, and sidestep the magical blast. He tries to flee again, but the shit slows him down, allowing us to finish him off. Enraged, his sister attempts to blast us. We duck around the pillars, restack our bubble, which is immediately taken out as she summons automatons. I'm sorry, little guys, but you have to die for love. With her lackeys down, we try charge her, but she's strangely resistant to our damage and constantly teleporting away. Unable to catch her, we have the bright idea to try charge her while she's channeling her spells. Holy crap, that's too much damage! Forced to retreat, we heal up, slay more automatons, and wait for our chance to strike. There, now, yes! Yeah, duck love, baby! Standing unshaken with the government destroyed, we return to town. Nobody can stop us as we seize power, and for our first act, legalize duck love, as well as mandatory hallucinogenic mushrooms for kids. Thanks to Raging Oz, Mionfell, and the other 7 peasants who are now legally required to marry a duck, but also shout out to our royalty, Roko and Trio Sky. My videos are not ad-friendly, so that $1 a month support that you guys are giving me means the world. Let me know in the comments what to do next, because this run, while weirdly difficult, was worth it to get rank 30 on the daily leaderboards.